Hi folks, Chris Voss here from the ChrisVossShow.com, the ChrisVossShow.com. Coming blog post I want to share with you. Of course, review the latest in social media and technology. This is the new phone from AT&T. It's the LG Optimus G PRO. Thanks to AT&T for loaning us the phone. Be sure to check out their website, AT&T.com. Be sure to like and subscribe to our videos, as we have all the major phone companies sending us phones so you can see all the latest and greatest and the comparisons. So, without any further ado, let's get into it. This is the latest 1080p screen to come on the market. There's the Droid DNA right now in the US. There's the HTC One, and there's also the new Samsung Galaxy S4 that just came out 8 weeks ago. And now there is the LG Optimus G in the US. So, this is the latest offering. It's very comparable in its size and screen size to the Samsung Galaxy Note 2, although the Samsung Galaxy 2 Note does not have a 1080p screen. And so let's get into all the dimensions and everything about it. So it stands at a height of 5.91 inches and width of 3 inches and 0.37 inches in thickness. It's very easy to handle and hold. It's got a weight of 6.07 ounces. Does kind of feel a little bit like a phablet. It's got true full HD IPS plus LCD capacitive touchscreen, 60 million colors. It's 1080p screen, and it's 5.5 inches, the same as the Galaxy Note 2. Now, the pixel quality on this is 401 pixel count, PPI, if you will. And it comes with the micro SD up to 64 gigabytes. It's told that it has Dolby sound enhancement, and it comes with 32 gigabytes internal, 2 gigabytes of RAM. And let's see, on the it has an NFC chip, of course, and it has on the camera 13 megapixel camera, and let's see, 1080p, 30 frames per second out the front and the back. It says here dual video recording. And at the front, it's got 2.1 megapixel, 1080p, 30 frames per second. It comes just short of the latest Android OS that's out there for Jelly Bean, 4.1.2. It's got a Qualcomm Snapdragon 600 in it, quad-core, 1.7 gigahertz Crowd 300. And let's see, what else is there to know? It says here that it has a stereo FM radio in it, so you can utilize that if you need to. It also has an RF, IR blaster, I should say, in the top, and so you can use it to control your TV, stereo sounds, all that sort of good, stereos, all that sort of good stuff. So we've gotten a chance to play with it here for about 24 hours. It's a great phone. I really like the Optimus G, the LG Optimus G from the original series that they did. It was a beautiful, nice smartphone, very well built, very heavy duty. A lot of people like the Nexus, so this is the new generation to come out of LG. And it'll be interesting to see how much of a difference this makes. We may see, there's been rumors that the new LG Nexus phone is being worked on by them, and the Nexus 5 could have some of this, some of the stuff they put into it. Now, I've always liked the LG UI. I think they have a great UI. It's not as good as Samsung's, but it's much better than the HTC's. It's definitely somewhere in the middle. So you have the ability to customize your quick edits, where with HTC you don't really have quick edits. You can even edit these, which I really like. They have added something called Q-Slide apps that you can have, I guess, that you're quick and ready when you do your pull-down notification. Fairly simple notification menu. On the UI, there's a little bit more details now where it's broken down. You can see here you can do some adjustments like keep the screen on when the screen detects your eyes looking at it. You can auto-rotate the screen, of course, with most things. Home button LED. This is kind of interesting. This is a multicolor LED they put in the bottom to let you know when notifications have come in. And I think when it rings or something, I saw it doing different colors at one point earlier tonight. I'm not sure why or when it does it, but basically it'll do these really cool colors that kind of get your attention. They also are selling a quick cover for this, much like the new Samsung Galaxy S4, where you can, when you open and close the cover, it will take and turn the screen off. It's got some motion sensor calibration. Very simple UI though when it comes down to it. You can do one-handed operation, much like you can on the Note 2. Let's see, quick buttons you can take and program in for different shortcuts you want to take and utilize. And that's pretty much it. There's not much more here, but it's a good UI, and I've always liked how easy it is for me to get into it and do stuff. Now, there's some interesting things with the phone. They've got a power button over here, we've got a volume rocker here, but we have this quick edit button that's up here. So we have three different buttons, and then your fourth one, if you want to count that, on the device, which is a little odd. And it took me some getting used to. Now you've got this drop-down menu where you can do several different things on here, and you can leave different notes that you can take and draw. They've kind of designed this a little bit to be around like the Galaxy Note, where you can share, you can make notes here. You can see I made some notes on my screen, and then you can just take and get rid of them when you don't want to have them anymore. So it's good for note taking. Someone gives you a number and you're like, oh, hang on, let me write that on my screen real quick. The scroll, as you can see, is an infinite scroll. You can usually adjust how these scroll and what the look of them is. They do a really good job at LG. It's really easy to change the widgets and the apps on the thing. I really do like it. So let's take a look at what we're dealing with here. We got a front-facing speaker, some sensors, and the front-facing camera. Down below we have this button. Like I said, this is a button per se, and it has a multicolor feature to it. And then we have a menu and a back button. Okay, so let's go ahead and flip this baby around. Now, the beautiful part that's different between this and the LG Optimus G is it has a removable back. It kind of has this old Teflon sort of looking back. The speaker kind of is beefed up in its look, where it has a really cool kind of speaker to it. You've got your camera eye, your lamp flash, and of course AT&T. Now, this back will come off. Let's see if we can figure out. We've had so many phones come to us in the past 3 weeks. The HTC First, the HTC One. I'm trying to figure out which ones are which these days. Now, the other awesome thing is it's got a 3140 milliamp hour battery in it. It's freaking huge. And you've got a place here for your SIM card and your micro SD card right here. It's a good looking device. Once again, it kind of has that plasticky back that people complain about on the Samsung. To me, I just don't really mind all that much. I don't think it's that big of a deal. As long as the guts work and it's got kick-ass software and hardware inside of it, I don't care if it's got a plastic back. So let's take a look at the top. Across the top we have the earphone jack. We have the IR blaster area. This is for controlling your TV and stuff. And we have the microphone. On the bottom we have the sync jack, and we have the microphone. On the right hand side we've got a small power button here. And then down the left-hand side, we've got, like I said, this quick edit button that's right here, and we also have a volume rocker up and down. It's got a sleek finish. You can see here the metal body throughout, and it looks good. It's really up to you, what you feel about the phone, whether it's ergonomically correct for you. It definitely does feel good in the hands. Very comfortable, even though it's a phablet. I believe it's a little less wider than the Samsung Galaxy Note 2. And I kind of like the feel of it, but it's kind of it's a personal choice, I think, for you and what you want to experience with it and everything else. Okay, so on the apps, pretty simple. It's got a few different apps that they have, the calendar, clock, contacts that you would find on other devices. They do have an emergency app, emergency alert app. I guess this is a new thing where if there was emergency alerts, they would appear in that screen. Kind of interesting. I haven't seen that before. Maybe that's a new thing that'll start coming out. It has its own file manager, which is good. You don't have to download one off the App Store. Let's see what else is native on this. So we've got a notepad and notebook, and these are different things you can use to take and utilize your notes, everything else. Now, one thing that is interesting is they have a quick remote. As we said, there's an IR blaster at the top. You can program this to work with your TV, even your. You can even get this to work with your air conditioner from LG, projector, Blu-ray, audio, DVD, cable box. This seems to be the new rage. We saw this in the HTC One. We also saw it in the Samsung Galaxy S3, where IR, basically blasters are in the phones so that you can take and control your TVs. I guess that's the new thing. It'll be interesting to see if Apple does it, where you can control your TV. Okay, so we did a Geek Bench 2 score test on this. We got several varying results. The highest score we got was 2492, which is really good. You've got the HTC One is at 2700. You've got 3200 is a Samsung Galaxy S3, and of course it has a 1.9 gigahertz chip in it as opposed to 1.7 as this and the One do. But that's a really good score. We've seen scores as low as 2200 on it, so there seems to be some variance depending upon how much stuff is going on in the background, what apps are updated, etc., etc. Okay, and here's our AnTuTu benchmark 3.3 score. You can see we scored 19,324. That's a great score to take in half, and came out really well. Okay, so let's take a look at the camera photo taking capabilities of the LG. Now, it's got a pretty good thing here on the side. You've got your button to take pictures. You've got a slider for pictures and videos. It's very easy to operate. It's very easy to get into your gallery of pictures over here. Now, what's kind of interesting is they have this thing called intelligent auto camera mode, where they have like a normal camera mode, they have intelligent auto camera mode. In intelligent auto camera mode, it will pretty much do everything for you that you would normally customize, such as your image, or I'm sorry, not your image size, but your screen mode, your ISO, your white balance, color effects, that sort of thing. It's kind of a great way of really detecting the best way to take photos, and I've been pretty impressed with it. It's a great way to just automatically take great photos. You can turn it off and you can go into the customizable menu. As you can see here, you can do geotagging, image size, you can adjust brightness, etc., etc. You can even have it verbally made so that you can talk to it and tell it when to exercise the shutter. But I found this intelligent auto camera mode works really, really well. So let's talk about that. And what you'll see with this is it tends to be able to balance the pictures better. Now here's a really close-up, kind of almost macro shot that we're doing with a scoop of beans, coffee beans in this case. And here is the intelligent mode picture. Here's the non-intelligent mode picture. And obviously I had to do some work if I want to make this look good, but I was just testing how the camera would work comparatively without me adjusting anything. So you can see here we got some really, really great pictures, very close up, very macro-ish almost, that we got with the coffee beans. Now this is the intelligence mode. Here you've got one picture. Here's the other picture. This is the one that's intelligence mode. You can't really tell too much of a difference. They're about the same. I think if you blow them up, you might see things a little bit differently or about the same. Really is going to be up to you on how they come out. Now, the lamp video and flash is pretty good on the device. Not the greatest lamp I've ever seen, but not the worst. It's definitely good or great. I would say great, actually. That's where I put it in the great column. It's something like on the 7 to 8 out of 10. So it does a good job. Here's a picture where we're, of course, in a completely dark environment, much like this was, where it's completely darkened out, and we're using a flash. It's got a good flash to it, does a great job. I'd say it's maybe a 6 or 7 on the 10 scale of camera eyes. Now, these are two pictures here that I took with the intelligent mode, and then these are pictures I took with the non-intelligent mode, I guess you call them, or you call them the normal mode. Now, I don't know if you can see a difference, but there is a complete difference once you go to these other two. If you can see the difference in coloration, the presentation, the lines and shadows, and a few other things. This is a much better picture over here. So the intelligent mode they have is pretty smart at being able to read photos and do well with them. In well-lit light, you can see here it's got beautiful colors. They're going to be vibrant on the screen, and it's going to do a good job that way. Let's see, what else do we want to take and do? I'm used to the Samsung where the back button is over on the other side. Here you can see just a colorized shot. It shows you all the vivid colors of everything in the shot, and this is just more of the same here. It takes really good photos. This is an area where I have a light that's a fluorescent light, or not a fluorescent light. It's one of those saver lights. So you tend to get a lot of yellow and darkness in your photos because of those lights. It's not a normal light that you would get, but it takes great photos. You can see here the image is really sharp, and considering my dog's always moving, it takes really good photos. So very impressed with it. It's got a great camera on it, 13 megapixels. There's not too many that have that now. Okay, so all in all, I've liked this phone. I love the LG product. I love the LG UI. It could be better, but it's certainly not HTC. I think it's a great, solid phone. It feels like a solid phone. It definitely is a phablet. I can see how people with smaller hands or women's small hands might not enjoy this phone. It might be bulky for them. For a big guy like me with 9-inch span hands, this is a great phone, and I really enjoy it. It's wonderful to play games on and watch movies because you can actually see what's going on. You give me those small phones with little screens, and I'm sitting there squinting my eyes to see what's going on. So it's a great phone, 1080p screen, you can't beat that, and it's a beautiful application. The differences between this and the Samsung Galaxy Note 2 are pretty much the quality of the screen color, how the colors are presented. You may want to take a look and compare both of them and see which appeals to your eye the most. I looked at both. The real difference was kind of the application of colors, and it's very slight. You have to spend a lot of time looking at it. So, and it's really, there's no right or wrong. It's just a matter of how it's applied and how it might appeal to you. The colors are great on both of them. I mean, we're talking 1080p. So, it's an awesome phone in my book. Chris Voss tested, Chris Voss approved. Be sure to like our video, subscribe to our video. Go to AT&T.com. That's AT&T.com. Tell them Chris Voss sent you. And keep watching for all the other wonderful phones we'll be reviewing. We'll be doing comparisons of the LG with the Galaxy Note 2 and other current phones that are out there in the marketplace. Thanks for coming by.